Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all having a good day. Good day for me. All right, I know it sounds funny, but I'm piggybacking off the last three videos. This is the last one to do this kind of video, but it was fun doing them, right? And now I want to do fragrances with good performance, good projection, good longevity, good sillage. A couple of them beast, but nothing, not every one of them is beastly performers, but they're still really good. We're talking, 7, 8 hours plus of performance, sometimes even longer. Like I said, 2, 3 hours of solid projection, arm's length and a half out there. Again, the caveat: this is all on my skin. Fragrance reacts different. Every fragrance, for the most part, on everybody else's skin. For the most part, though, it's pretty similar, right? But every now and then, somebody is going to have something. For example, navy. A couple people tell me that their navy works great and all this stuff. That's great. I'm glad it does. I really am. But on me, it doesn't. It's just the way it goes, right? It's not. It's not. This isn't set in science, right? I mean, I guess it kind of is, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's not set in stone. It's not. There's no hard, fast rule type deal. It is what it is. However, it reacts with you. So all of these are great performers on me. Basically, that's a quick way of saying, or a long way of saying that this is what they do for me on me. You may be different. You may get better performance, weaker performance. Understand that. I understand that. Now, let's jump right into it. It's technically 5, but I've got a bunch of honorable mentions because it's all the ones everybody mentions, and I kind of wanted to give you 5 different ones. But you've got the Mall Elixir, Stronger With You Intensely, absolutely. Even the original Stronger With You. Grabbed the wrong one, of course I did. There we go, got the right one now. Coffee and Whiskey by Body Shop, what a great scent. Comra, Sauvage Elixir, La Mala Perfume, Encre Noir, Tom Ford Black Orchids, Gentleman Givenchy, I believe this is the Parfum, Eau de Parfum, Machino Toy Boy, and the list goes on and on and on. But there's some of the heavy hitters that most people talk about when they talk about, longevity and this and that. But I wanted to give you 5 that are just a little different, just a little. That not either nobody talks about or they don't talk about anymore, or talk about very little nowadays. One of them is a clone. Most of these, actually, all 5 of these, I guess, I don't think are really sold in stores anymore. Got to get most of them online, or be lucky you walk into a Winners or a Marshalls or Ross, whatever your box store choice is, I guess, rack store choice, and you might find them there. You might walk into a perfume store and they might have a few bottles, but for the most part, these are going to have to be online purchases. Again, your discounter of choice, basically. Uh, I would avoid, well, I wouldn't so much avoid Amazon. Amazon's hit or miss, but I've heard through the grapevine the last month or two that eBay is just kind of flooded with fakes. I don't know how true that is, but it's what I've seen on Facebook groups and stuff like that, the internet in general, that eBay is just flooded with fakes. So I'd avoid getting any of these from eBay. I'd avoid getting anything from eBay until, unless you know the person, you've dealt with them for years, then you're pretty safe. Uh, doesn't matter what they have for ratings. I mean, that can all be fake now and all that stuff and feedback. Just avoid eBay. Get them at a discounter, or if you know the person on eBay. But I'd avoid eBay right now until eBay gets it under control, which I don't think they ever will, because I don't think eBay really cares. So, either way, avoid eBay. Go to a discounter. Try to find them at a discounter. Try to find somebody on the Facebook groups that you trust selling them and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just a quick way or long way of saying, again, don't buy from eBay right now. So, so let's start with Bulgari Aqua Pour Homme Advantique. This was hyped for a minute. A lot of people say, "Oh, it smells like Dior Sauvage." Kind of. It's definitely not as metallic as Dior Sauvage. It's not as peppery as Dior Sauvage. It's got all of that in it, but it's got a decent little amount of sweetness and a really good salty aquatic vibe to it. Again, another one I get about 8 hours, couple hours solid projection. Nothing through the roof, but really good, especially for an aquatic fragrance. That is really good. Next is, believe it or not, Invictus Intense. Basically, this takes Invictus and ramps everything up and adds a rum note to it, or boozy note. I'm thinking it's rum. It's sweet, but in a boozy kind of way, with all the freshness, but depth too, with some woods in the base, and just a really nice fragrance. Just a really nice fragrance. Again, another one that I'm getting about 10 plus hours on. So this is one you're probably going to be able to find in most rack stores right now. And it works really well on me. Now, it's Windsor Pour Homme by English Laundry. I understand this is an original bottle when it first was released. My other two big bottles are original bottles when it was within the first year anyway. I've heard that this isn't quite as good as it used to be. I don't know. I haven't got a reformulated bottle yet. But if you manage to get yourself definitely a first couple years when it was released bottle, you're going to get at least good performance. On me, it's pretty good. Like I said, it's 8, 9, 10 hours, a couple hours of solid projection. It's basically cherry pipe tobacco with a little bit of wood and a little bit of oud. Just a great fragrance. Just a great fragrance. Usually you're able to pick it up anywhere from about $10 to $20 at Marshalls, TJ Maxx, places like that. And even if it's, just give it a try. If it's not that good anymore, I'm sorry, but I'm just going by the bottle I have. Next is going to be Franck Olivier Paris Eau de Vanille Eau de Parfum. Again, this got hyped for a minute back in the day. It's kind of a oudy, a little bit of rose, and a lot of vanilla in this. I don't mind. The oud is a little funky and synthetic, of course. It's like $16 or whatever, but it's not a bad fragrance. A little off-putting for the first 10 minutes or so. A little bit of a chemical mess, but then it takes about 10, 15 minutes and just kind of soothes itself out. It becomes a really nice oud, rose, vanilla fragrance. It's just really nice. And again, that's an all-day performer at 12 plus hours. And projections about 3 hours, beast mode out there, no joke. So, works real well. Last is actually a Belcam, believe it or not. And it's Volatile for Men Pour Homme. It is actually a dupe of Spice Bomb. And it performs really well, especially for a cheap $10, $15 dupe. Doesn't smell inexpensive or anything like that. Again, has that spicy cinnamon spice kind of vibe to it with some tobacco and sweetness that Spice Bomb has to it. And it's just a very nice fragrance. Not a bad atomizer either for the price. Yeah, it even has a bit of that Play-Doh-y vibe, I guess would be the way to describe it, that Spice Bomb's always had to me. But right there, you've got the spices. I pick up, like I said, the cinnamon spice, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the clove, maybe a little bit of coriander, a little bit of tobacco, and a sweet vanilla. Similar in concept to this, but completely different in smell. This is more of a tobacco fragrance, where this is more of a spicy fragrance. But it has that kind of vibe to it. And just really good performer. About 8 hours on me for a cheap dupe. Projection, a couple hours an arm's length, if not a little more out there. So for a cheap dupe, that's not bad, guys. So that's not bad at all. So yeah, out of all these, um, which is my favorite? Well, if I include the other ones, it's obviously going to be Dior Sauvage Elixir, but that's too easy. Like I said, I want to choose from the five here that you may not know of, especially if you're newer into the game or you forgot about. And quite honestly, I mean, this is great. But if I'm looking for something to wear a little more everyday type thing, I'm gonna go with this cheap Belcam dude, man. It's ridiculously good for the price. I'm actually super surprised. I mean, it is what it is. I, I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you the way it is, or the way I find it to be. So, yeah, that would be my favorite out of the five. No, that's a lie. This would be my favorite of the five, but this would be the one I reach for the most because I can wear it pretty much any time of the year, even in the hot heat of the summer. Just dial back the sprays, summer nights anyway, and it smells. I know I don't like doing percentages, and some of you guys like it, some of you guys hate it. But if I had to give it a percent, it's in the low 90s as being similar to Spice Bomb. I mean, very close. Uh, and with that price tag, god damn, that's good. So anyway, guys, yeah, that's it. That's the winner, Volatile. But they're all winners, every one of these. So yeah, five fragrances, including a bunch of obvious ones that just perform great. Just perform great. And you might want to give them a try. Like I said, it's just ones you may not have heard of or forgot about. So, all right, guys, peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.